My project tonight is to replace this IC here, which is the 74HC373 that I was working with last night. Kind of dreading having to disassemble this whole thing to get at the bottom side of the circuit board. Hopefully it's not too painful. Though I do note the design of the rest of this is really good. So maybe they've put some good thought into making the bottom of the PCB accessible without having to rip everything apart. So I shall see soon enough. Okay, so I'm just getting set to dismantle this. According to the service manual, if I take out each of these screws in the PC board, and then the 3 screws on the side that fasten down the heatsink, that should apparently free this to be removed. I'll actually have to, each of these jacks on the back, they have a nut on them as well. I'll have to take that off and of course disconnect these. So here goes nothing. I've successfully extracted the main board from the case. So it's a bit of work to get it out, but wasn't, I suppose, not as bad as I had feared. So now the next part is to extract component. This one right here. It's worth noting, it's a double-sided board, but there are no components on the other side at all, so that's good. Well, I think it's taken me about half an hour or 45 minutes to get this IC out, but it's finally been extracted. That's it there. So it was component U65, the other side of the board, just like that. So now, because I'm not so much of a masochist, I'm going to, rather than solder the replacement in directly, I'm going to put a socket in there. And that way I don't ever have to do that again. Okay, I've finished reassembling everything. Everything's screwed back down. I don't have the nuts on their back jacks yet, but that's not important for now. Unit's plugged in. I'm ready to power it up. See how it works. So the power's up. That's a good sign. Next test is to plug in to the mixer. So we'll do that in a second here. Okay, I'm plugged into the mixer now. Power it up. I was using preset 49 before. So that one works. Now here comes the real test. I'm hoping that there's no hiss or no noise, because that will mean that, well, I've fixed it. Unfortunately, there's still noise. Well, I guess at this point we know what the problem wasn't, and it was that little IC. So it was okay. Fortunately, it doesn't cost that much. So, but the other reason why this is also important is because although I have a source for these memory chips here, and they're only about $1 a piece US, but I have to order them from a company in the States, and there's a $25 fee for a certificate of origin for placing an order. So even if I was to order one of them, say, so there's, you know, $1.50 Canadian maybe, it's going to cost me 26 bucks, at least, probably about 30 bucks by the end, just for one part. So I'll order about 10 or 15 of them at a time to make it worthwhile, and that way I'll also have a supply of spares should I ever have to repair this or another similar unit again with these RAM chips. So I guess the next step tonight is to place the order for the replacement RAM, and when it comes in, then I'll unsolder those. God, there's a 3-hour project. And solder in sockets and pop the RAM chips in, and hopefully this sound will be gone.